So good afternoon, teacher and friends. We are Group 4, and as a child development expert, we will give you some types of parenting, the reality, some consequences, and how to deal with that situation. So first of all, due to our investigation in 2015, we found that the parents of young children often share 4 types of the pictures of their kids online. The first one is the pictures of milestone, for example, their first teeth or their graduation from the kindergarten. And second one is the picture with family or friends on it. For example, the vacation or holidays. And the third one is a picture that they consider to be cute. And the last one is a picture that they consider to be funny. Example is a dirty eating of the babies. And due to the advanced technologies, it's much easier for the parents nowadays to share their kids' pictures on the social platform. So as we surveyed in 2021, which we involved the U.S. parents and their children, we found that the 77% of the U.S. parents said that they have posted a lot of pictures or videos about their kids on the social platform. Or on the UK, you can see on the UK on average, parents often post like 13,000 videos and images about their kids on the social platform. Or even in our country, in Vietnam, you can easily encounter some kids who become much more famous after being posted by their parents. We can namely Pam Oi, and she even become more popular than her parents, that all the brands must pay more money for her appearance on the events. And we do, as a child development expert, we do acknowledge that the action of parenting from the parents is a great way for them to get some advice, to get some information or support. Moreover, they just want to stay in touch with their relatives, or to say that they are so proud of their kids, or even to portray them as a good parents. But we as experts, we do believe that this action can lead to some consequences. And our next expert, Tung Chi, will give you some detailed information.
I'm a child development expert, and here I'm standing here today to address the going issue of parenting and how it affects a child's right to privacy, especially regarding the dangers posed by sharing information online. In today's world, it's very common for parents to share their pictures about their children's milestone, their funny moments, like we have said. Maybe this post may seem innocent to our parents, but it may contain the detailed information about the child. So it can be used by malicious individuals, and they can easily track down the child's exact locations, the full name, the home address, their school, and something like that. So to support my argument before, one academic evidence has shown that 2021 report by China International has shown 1 in every 4 parents has post picture have direct information that link to their child's personal details, and they didn't realize the full potential danger behind. So all of the strangers, the pupil, especially pupil with bad intentions, they can piece information together and track down all the personal details of the child. So if it's a negative, an academic evidence, let me bring up a real life example. Hùng Đi Đu, maybe all of you guys may heard about him. He is a really famous content creator, and he is famous for his ability to use subtle detail in photos of the person who asked them to find, telling him to find exactly the commenter's detail about his address. Then he answered that he had made accurate guess about their address. So by simply observing background, reflections, landmarks in the photos, he showed that how easily someone can gather information that parents may think is harmless to share, is to put the children at risk. So from a child development expert, the children deserve the right to privacy. They are not yet capable of understanding what dangers can be if they have their life to post online. So I'm here as an expert. I have an advice for all of the parents here. You need to think critically before posting anything of your children online. Thank you.
So my name is Diệu Trang. So let's talk about online safety risks. And as a child development expert, I'll discuss more about this. I know that sharing a cute moment or a funny picture of your child on the internet might seem harmless at first, but it actually comes with great dangers. Because, for example, here in Vietnam, there have been so many cases in which photos of children are taken advantage of and are taken without the consent and knowledge of parents, and those photos are used for making money. But it doesn't stop at your photos being stolen, but it also grows into a more serious problem. Your personal information are revealed. If you share your photos of your children on social media, the wrong people can take advantage of those photos in order to find out what is your school and where your kids lived, and even what are your kids' hobbies, what are your kids' likes and dislikes, and use such data in order to, to use them in a very dangerous and creepy way. For example, can you move on next slide, please? If you post a picture of your child's favorite playground on the internet, some creepy people can really locate the location of that playground and try to approach your children, and then may even harm them or try to take them to somewhere in order to make money, for example. So in order how to deal with this situation, let's moving on to our next point, which is the limitation on personal information presented by Huyền.
So my name is La Vũ Huyền, the third children development expert. We could see that as experts, we acknowledge that sometimes sharing your kids' photos and information on the internet is just an expression of love. However, loving properly is to respect and to protect them, both in real life and in cyberspace. So we are here to provide you some of the feasible ways you can apply in order to minimize the potential risks that are associated with sharing. Firstly, it is a good idea for parents to limit the types of information that can be shared. The United Nations Children's Fund in Vietnam has emphasized not sharing children's personal information, including firstly, their full name, their school, address, phone number in places that they frequently visit. And I want to emphasize more, that is not sharing children's schools and places they often visit can make it harder for some people like perverts, child sex offenders or traffickers, make them harder to find your children offline. Next thing is, in order to ensure your child's development on the internet, on social media platforms, parents should acquire digital literacy. You don't need to be a pro, but there's a fundamental skill set that you need to acquire. And the really straightforward strategy, famously applied by our CEO of Meta, Mark Zuckerberg, is to use emojis to hide the face of your children before posting. And you can also use many photo editing apps. You can see, Epic, Become Perfect, many of them to blur out sensitive details. Next thing that we want to mention is to obscure your location sharing features. on social media platforms. There are some platforms like Facebook or Instagram, they sometimes automatically tag your location when you post. So make sure you turn it off before posting anything. And you can also use VPN. VPN is a virtual private network, but it is used to keep your online activity and your location private. However, some free VPNs will have limited security features, so they may compromise your privacy. In case some parents would ask me, so how about sharing your children's photo and information on private social accounts? I would say yes, doing this can reduce the likelihood of your kids can be accessed by people with bad intentions. However, your content, what you post, can still be leaked and still be accessed easily by some hackers or staff of social media network or some friends that you think that they're trustworthy, but it turns out that they are not trustworthy as you expect. So we'll move on to the next point.
My name is Tuấn Lâm, or you can know me as Mr. Control. I am an expert about children. And so now let's talk about peer relationships. And so children who experience sharing things when they were small, they maybe can become famous in the future when they grow up and they go to school. But they may face several challenges in their relationships with their peers. As you see, there are two pictures here. The first one is a boy who is being boycotted by others' friends. They laugh at him. Or the other boy who stands on the top and scolding others people. And now let's talk about the second boy. I think he is someone who have a quite high sense of self-importance. What I mean is that those people who are sharing things by parents, they become famous when they go to school. They want to catch the attendance from others people. So somehow they can see their friends as in a lower level than them, and sometimes they can become the bully. So they can do such actions to their friends. And about the other one, those children who is being sharing things, they can be the target of bullying. They can, as Ngọc Linh has said, their friends can see on their parents' wall and find some embarrassing pictures about them. They can post it online, they can share it with their friends, and so they can laugh at those children. And there's also a newspaper about this too. That can create emotional pain, you know. So now is the final part about Gia Giang.
Okay, so my co-workers have just discussed the risks associated with parenting, especially bullying from their peers. So I'm gonna give you some advice as an expert. Okay. First and foremost, please ask for consent from your children. They know what's suitable to post and what not to children at their age, so it will reduce the chance of being bullied. If they feel uncomfortable about the photo or the information you want to post, don't post it. That's it. For younger children, they may not fully understand the concept of consent yet, so you should approach it a little different. You should reflect on yourself. Will this protect their privacy and their dignity? Will this make them feel embarrassed when they grow up? Please no. Will this make them embarrassed when they grow up, and when they see the picture, the photo, they will feel embarrassed, or will they feel happy and proud about it? Okay, think about whether posting a photo of them in a tantrum or a sleepy face will cause embarrassment later on. Okay, by considering their feelings and perspective, I believe that we can help protect them from the risks of sharing. That's the end of our sharing. I'm gonna pass this micro to our next member, Annie. Any questions?